How we build and maintain homes and how we live in them can have a big impact on the environment and on climate change. This film shows some of the key issues to consider when trying to keep track of the environmental impacts of demolition, reconstruction and refurbishment of housing. We look at energy, waste and water. Many older homes require a lot of energy to keep warm in winter. This can mean high bills for the people who live in them. So it might seem like knocking them down and building new homes is a good idea. But in fact, in many cases, older buildings can be refurbished to perform just as well as new buildings. Refurbishment can improve windows, ventilation, lighting, boiler equipment and insulation to bring older buildings up to the same performance standards as new buildings. As well as the energy we use when we live in our homes, there's also a lot of energy that goes into a new building. That can be from extracting and mining new materials, firing new bricks, or running construction equipment on site. This is often referred to as embodied energy or as embodied carbon. As a general rule, it's likely that embodied energy of a refurbished building will be lower than the embodied energy associated with demolition and new building. This links to the question of waste. 35% of the waste generated in the UK comes from the construction sector. That's about 3 times the amount of waste generated by all the UK's households put together each year. Refurbishment obviously generates less waste than demolition and new construction. And we like to think about refurbishment as reusing buildings before we start thinking about reusing all the materials that might be generated by demolishing buildings. Like energy, older buildings also tend to use more water, but water efficiency can be improved by installing water efficient taps and showers and new toilets that use less water each time we flush them. Another water issue in London is the risk of flooding. The risk of flooding can be reduced with systems and landscaping to manage rainwater and drainage. Water efficient measures inside buildings and sustainable drainage outside buildings can both be done on refurbishment projects and not just on new construction. The health of our environment is important now and for future generations. Decisions about demolition or refurbishment should take into account energy, water and waste so that regeneration can reduce our impact on the environment and on climate change.